Hi children, how are you all? I hope you all are fine at home with your parents in pandemic situation. We want to be very careful, particularly children you, because COVID-19 second wave of is coming to the end, but third wave is about to start and it may affect you. So please be aware of the situation and keep yourself away from COVID-19. Children, stay at home and be safe.
Let's discuss Chapter 4 Adaptation in Different Animals.
So, children, where do you live? Yes, we have a place to live. This is called our house or home. We are living in different types of house according to their surroundings. That means particularly the climate. In a desert, polar region, we are divide our house according to their climate. We change the models. Like us, animals also have a place to live. It is called their habitat. What is it? Habitat. Yes, that means a place where an animal or a plant survive. A place where an animal or a plant survives. Do you know, children, what do you mean by the word survive? So, what do you mean by the word survive? Survive means continue to live or exist. Continue to live. Yes. So that is we call survive. So living place of organism is called habitat. Okay children, we know very well animals have a house that is we call habitat.
Can I ask a few questions from a book? Okay. The first one, where do you find a lion? Yes, forest. Second one, where do you see a camel? Yes, desert. Where does a fish live? Water. Where does a lotus plant grow? Water. Fifth one. Where does a cactus plant grow? Desert. So, according to these answer, we can see the different animals and plants live in different habitats. So, children, we cannot find different plants and animals in same place because of their habit. So, children, plants and animals live in different habitats in different landform. We know very well the landform. The landform such as plains, hills, mountains, rivers, sea, desert, polar regions, etc. So, the animals live in different landform. So, all plants and animals live in their particular habitats. Okay, children, now we can see if they want to live in a particular habitats, they need some. So, how does animals find out their habitats? According to their needs. We know very well, first of all the animals need a food. So, according to their habitats, animals first think about where they can easily find food. The second one, where they can protect themselves. In a particular place, they have to protect themselves. Yes, the third one, it's easy to reproduce. What is it? In a surroundings, the environment is particularly suitable for the reproduce. Fourth one, where the climate suits them. Yes, the climate is particularly important. So, these are the things they need most. So, these are the things is the basic needs for animals to choose the habitat. First one, where they can easily find food. Second, where they can protect themselves. Third one, where they can reproduce. Fourth one, where the climate suits them. So, according to these points, the animals choose their habitats and adapt it. So, children, the animal choose their place, that means a particular habitat. An animal or a plant changes or adapts itself. We know if we are moving to anyone traveling like a tour, that place, now we are living in some of the warm climate. If you are moving to the anyone Kashmir, otherwise any hills, we need to protect our body like using extra clothes like a woolen shawls, sweater, etc. Like that, animals also adopt their habitat, that place. That means
The process of changing in living organisms to suit the environment is called adaptation. So, children, the process of changing in living organisms to suit the environment is called adaptation. As we all know, how the area or comfort zone for us, like animal have some special features that makes the comfortably. This is called adaptation. If they cannot make to adapt, they will become die. So the animals, they cannot make to adopt their surroundings, it will become die or extinct. Children, we know extinct mean is nothing but animals which do not exist anymore. That means vanish from the world. We know, like we always hear about the dinosaurs, but we cannot see that one animals. So, what about this one? Yes, they cannot adapt their surroundings. So, it extinct. So, children, animal, they want to adapt their surroundings. Not only animals, all the living things. So, the every each and living things like a plants, human, and animals, they want to adapt their surroundings. So, children, according to the habitat, animals have special feature. So, depending on their habitat, the animals can be divided. So, children, according to their habitat, animals divide the 5 groups. The 1, terrestrial; 2, aquatic; 3, amphibian; 4, arboreal; 5, aerial. Terrestrial, aquatic, amphibian, arboreal, and aerial. Children, we know now we divided animal depending on the habitat. So first we are talk about terrestrial. Animals living on land are called terrestrial. So those animals living on land are called terrestrial animals. So we know very well the different type of landform like forest, hill, desert. Okay, now we know very well the forest, we know it is a large area with big trees and plants. It provides shelter for different animals such as bears, lion, deer, giraffe, tiger, and bats live in forests. So many animals live on trees like monkeys, birds, and several types of insects live on the forest floor like snake, earthworms, and rats live inside the hole, that means under the ground. So children, in a forest we have find more than different type of animals. Next, desert. Children, we know the climate in a desert is very hot and dry, and we also know in desert area we can get very low rainfall, that means scanty rainfall. So that we have find very minimum animals like camels, rattlesnakes, and brown squirrel, like there are found in desert. So children, according to their habitat, animals have special features like covering bodies and the feet. Yes, we know very well. Now we are seeing about the different type of landform like desert and polar region. Especially both we cannot walk normal legs like our feet, because when you keep feet on that, we our feet will sink. So we have to find different types of feet. So according to the habitat we can see. So children, we know according to their habitat the animals have some special features like body coverings and upper and lower limb. Yes, first of all, the terrestrial animal have common things. The first one is they have legs to walk. They have legs to walk. Second, they have lungs to breathe. They have lungs to breathe. Third one, most of them have well developed sense organs and nerve system which help them to feel the changes around them. So they have a well developed sense organs are present. And we know not each and every animals have a legs. Did you take a snake? Can you find the legs on that? No. Some animals, like snakes, do not have legs. They have scales which help them to crawl. We know very well scales means is nothing but we can see upper the skin like a layer. What do you mean by the word scale? We know very well it is a thick dry flake of skin. That means each of the small, thin, horny plates protecting the skin of fish and reptiles. So, children typically overlapping one another. So, it is thick and dry flake of skin. So, the snake scale, it helps to crawl. So, children, we know very well what you mean by the word crawling. A move forward on the hands and knees, or by dragging the body close to the ground. A move forward on the hands and knees, or by dragging the body close to the ground. It is called crawl. So, snake, with the help of the scale, it's crawling on the road. Now, can you clear about crawl? Children, animals in desert region have thick skin with scanty hair. So, animals in desert area, they have thick skin and
scanty hair because to protect from the heat. To protect from the heat. Children, what do you mean by the word scanty hair? It means hair of insufficient thickness. So it is a insufficient thickness having the diameter less than 0.05 millimeter. So children, the scanty hair means hair of insufficient thickness. It protects the desert animals from the heat of the sun. If the desert means, we know very well the first animals we always think is a camel. We know the camel is called the sheep of the desert. It is adapted to live in hot and dry climates of a desert. We know very well in desert area most of the person using the camel to for the transport. Yes, so the person using the camel to travel through the desert area because of the camel adapt their climate. So automatically they can live without water for 3 months. The main reason is they can live without water for 3 months. At the same time, it can store fat in their hump. Fat in their hump. We know the back of a hammer we can see up and down like a wave, like one part. That is we can call hump. So under the hump we can see the fat. So when they cannot get their food, it will take the energy from the fat. And children, they have huge padded feet which do not sink in sand and thick lips to eat thorny plants. What do you mean by the padded feet? Compared to other animals, the padded feet means the feet it will big in size. That is we can call padded feet. Yes, and they have a thick lips to eat thorny plants. And do you know we can see it is in a brown color. In a desert area, the color matches with the surroundings. Not only that, we know we have a one eyelashes, but the camel have two rows of eyelashes to protect them from sand and the heat of the sun. According to the information, camel have some of the special features like it have padded feet and two row of eyelashes and thick lips to eat thorny plants, and it can live without water for 3 months. At the same time, it stores fat under the hump. Okay, children, like we are moving to the polar region. Yes, in a polar region like desert, the polar bear. The polar bear also have a padded feet to walk on snow. The padded feet means when they walk with padded feet, it's never sink. Sink means it enter inside the snow. So we know very well they have thick fur on their bodies. Thick fur means the air is very closed. Yes. So the polar bear have thick fur keeps the animal warm by trapping the body heat. And polar bear has padded feet to walk easily on snow. We know very well the polar bear fur is in a white in color. So it's look like the snow. Okay children, not only like that, in some animals like lizards, birds, bears, frog, snakes, etc. See,
like lizards, bears, frogs, snakes, etc. go for a long winter sleep for several months to protect themselves from cold. So these type of animals is deep under the sleep in winter season because of protect themselves from cold. They become inactive and come out only when the weather changes. This type of animals we call hibernation. So children, it is a way animals conserve energy to survive adverse weather conditions or lack of food. In the hibernation time, the animals reserve its body for nutrition from the fat. So, during hibernation, the animal uses the fat reserve of its body for nutrition. At the same time, the animal's heartbeat slows down to use less energy. We know very well when we are running, we can hear the heartbeat. The heart is beating very fast. So, the hibernation time, the animals want to save the energy. So, the heartbeat slows down to use less energy. Let's discuss aquatic animals. Animals living in water are called aquatic animals. For example, fish, turtle, crab, ducks, seahorse, etc. They have the following adaptations. So, different landforms, animals have their different sense organs like to adapt their surroundings. A fish and crabs have a gills to breathe. In a land, we can see the lungs to breathe. In a water, the fish and crabs have gills to breathe. Whales and dolphins have lungs to breathe. So, how is possible? When they want to breathe, the dolphin and whales it's come above the water and take the air, and the next things after it will move inside the water again. So children, whales and dolphins we never compare to like a fish because they have lungs to breathe, so they do not have gills. Okay, one time the whales and dolphins take one time air. That means one time it will take the air from above the water surface. So it will take 60 minutes hold inside the water. So children, mostly the fish and crabs have a gills to breathe, but whales and dolphins have lungs to breathe. They do not have gills. We know very well fish have fins to swim in water. And children, is everybody we know their bodies of fish. It looks like a streamlined body. A streamlined body is nothing but the front of the fish we can see the triangular. Yes, a streamlined body which helps them to swim easily in water. And we know very well the always the fish is live inside the water, but when you keep it inside the water 10 minutes or more than 15 minutes means we can see our fingers like a brownie. Yes, but the fish is always in there, but they never changes on their body because the fish have waterproof bodies. It keep their body warm and dry. Okay, so all have waterproof bodies. And the next one
Ducks, we know that ducks have that. Did you check the feet of the duck? Yes, it look like webbed feet. What is it? Webbed feet. At the same time, turtles have pedal-like flippers. Pedal-like flippers. These webbed feet and flippers, these help to push back the water while swimming. Amphibians. Let's talk about amphibians. We know before we saw terrestrial and aquatic. Terrestrial animals, those live on land, we call a terrestrial. And aquatic, those live in water, we call aquatic. But amphibians means the both terrestrial and aquatic. That means land at the same time live in water. So the animals which live both on land and in water are called amphibians. So children, animals which live both on land and in water are called amphibians. For example, frog, salamanders and newts, etc. These animals breathe with their moist skin when in water. So, when those animals live in water, it can take the breath from their skin. That means it can take the air through the skin. At the same time, when it lives on land, as usual, it takes using the lungs to breathe. So, children, amphibians means we know very well animals which live both on land and in water are called amphibians. When it lives on land, it uses lungs to breathe. When live in water, they use skin to breathe. Okay, so this is one of the very different skill. Next, arboreal. Children, animals that spend most of their time on trees are called arboreal animals. Here we have to think it is live on land, but most of their time on trees. So the animals that spend most of their time on trees are called arboreal animals. For example, monkey, flying squirrel, garden lizard, etc. They have strong limbs. We know very well the limbs we can call upper limbs and lower limbs. That means arms and legs. Okay, children. Now we know very well the arboreal animal have the strong limbs. That means legs and arms to move from one branch to another. They have a tail for balancing and gripping, not only the limbs. The same time, the tail also using to crapping things and fix the balancing on anyone top of the branches. Yes, they also have strong claws that support their movement. We know a squirrel can leap up to 4 to 5 meters easily with its tail and powerful hind limb. Okay, children. So, arboreal animals means the animals spend most of their time on trees are called arboreal. So, terrestrial animals live on land. Aquatic animals live in water. Amphibians animals which live both on land and in water. And arboreal animals, that animals that spend most of their time on trees are called arboreal. So we know very well not only arboreal have, they want to spend most of their time on trees. They have a strong limbs and the tail also. Because of that, it have a balance and gripping the branches. Let's see aerial. Aerial animals. Animals that spend most of their time in air are called aerial animals. Animals that spend most of their time in air are called aerial animals. Most birds and insects can fly. We know very well most birds and insects can fly because of their less weight. For why the birds have a weightless means because of their hollow bones. Yes, birds have hollow and light bones. That is the main reason it can fly high. And did you see the shape of the bird? Yes, it looks like boat shaped body and wings to fly. So, the animals that have hollow and light bones and feathers. At the same time, the body shaped is look like boat and wings to fly. This is the main reason birds easily fly in air. We know very well they have strong muscles to flap wings. Bat is the only mammal that can fly. We know very well mammals means it will give young ones. Other birds all lay eggs. So only one mammal in that birds means that is bird. So bat is the only mammal that can fly. So we know very well eagle, vulture, bat, so etc. These are aerial animals. Children, we know very well some of the animals they are known as flightless birds. That means they cannot fly up because of overweight, like kiwi, emu, ostrich, and penguin are birds, but they cannot fly. So we always called these type of animals flightless bird. So what is it? Flightless bird. And do you know in aerial animals shift spends almost all its life flying. It lands only to breed.